Hi, this is Corin from Scalar Apps. I'm going to show you how you can set up and use pattern redirects in the Redirect Pro Shopify app to essentially automate the redirects that you need to migrate your store to Shopify and retain the search ranking power when your URL handles change due to that migration. So to start, pattern redirects are essentially a completely customizable version of automatic redirects. Now, if you haven't seen automatic redirects, they can be visited from the broken links page. The video we have up on how to use these and get value out of them will be linked in the description. But the automatic redirects are essentially rule-based redirects that operate on autopilot. So they divert website visitors away from all broken URLs that match one of these patterns to a single destination URL. So for instance, for the first one here, this asterisk from products represents one or more unspecified characters. So in this instance, a product name. So any broken product pages are currently being redirected to the collections all page via this automatic redirect. So to look at pattern redirects a bit more closely, these, as I said, are completely customizable version of automatic redirects. So they will divert website visitors away from all broken URLs that match a completely custom URL structure instead of just the products or just the collections pages, etc. And they'll redirect them to a single destination URL like automatic redirects, or you can redirect each individual broken URL to a new link based on a new structure. So it's completely customizable. But to show you an example, let's go to the pattern redirects page and click create a pattern redirect. Now the same rules apply as creating redirects that we've looked at in previous videos, where the redirect from URL should be a relative URL, which means everything after the domain name, including the first forward slash. The redirect to URL should be a relative URL if you're redirecting traffic to another page on your primary domain, or it should be a full URL including the HTTPS, the www and your domain name if you're redirecting traffic to a secondary domain, a subdomain, or a different website entirely. So if we start with an example, say I've just migrated to Shopify and my old product links URLs looks like this, for instance. We know that the alternative for Shopify is forward slash products forward slash product name. So essentially, in this example, replace product name with any product name. So now we've migrated to Shopify. Any people that visit the old URL, maybe from old email marketing communications or dead links elsewhere on your site, are going to end up on a 404 page. So what we can do is instead of creating a single redirect for each product to the correct Shopify new URL, we can use a pattern redirect here with wildcard tokens. So a wildcard token these are numbered, so they each represent one or more unspecified characters. The number is unrelated to the number of characters. So the number just represents which block of characters that you're referencing. So we can use any of them to start, but let's just replace the product name with this one as a wildcard token. And then in the Shopify URL, we'll also replace the product name with this one. So what we've got here is if anyone visits a URL which matches this structure, where the wildcard token, the first wildcard token we've used here represents one or more unspecified characters, i.e. a product name, they will be redirected automatically to this equivalent where the one represents the exact same characters taken from the redirect from. So if a 404 matched this and say it was a shoes product, then they'd be redirected to forward slash products forward slash shoes here. And that's how they'd work. So these wildcard tokens essentially match up between, so they'll each represent some unspecified characters. And as I said before, the numbers are just to denote which wildcard token you're using, and it does not relate to the number of characters that it represents. If we take another common example, for instance, / category, so one. This is another common one when when migrating to Shopify. Collections, products. So this is how Shopify would represent products within collections, where one represents a collection name, two represents a product name. And from a previous store, say before you migrated, this may have been the URL structure, where one represents a category name and two represents the product name. So if we created this redirect, the same thing would happen in the previous example. All URLs that match this pattern, where one is any category name and two is any product name, would be redirected to the correct alternative on Shopify, where one is the collection's name and two is the product name. Bear in mind that it's really, really important that these wildcard tokens, what they represent, match across your migration. So this category name should be exactly the same in the URL handle as the collection name, the alternative collection name is in the Shopify URL handle. So another example we could do for this, you don't have to use all the wildcard tokens in the same way and match them up. You could just send them to the products, for example. So this would say any product within a category gets redirected to the correct alternative on Shopify when this one initially leads to a broken link, which it will do after you migrate. So as I said, to make sure that these URL wildcard tokens here, that the product names and the category names identically match up with the replacement collection and the replacement product in Shopify, you can just visit the products page, for instance. So I've got a boots product here. Scroll to the bottom. We can say search engine listing, and we can see what the URL handle is here. So I know if it was the product name in the URL before I migrated was just boots like this, and we can see that here in Shopify it's exactly the same, then we know that the pattern redirect is going to work fine. So just make sure that the product names, the collection names within the URLs match up exactly for that example I've shown you. So if I go and create it, we can test it working on the store. So category product, collections, products. There we go. So we can save this. And if we visit the store, so we know that category / I've got a footwear category on my store. Products, we've seen the boots product. So if we visit this, it would lead to a 404 now that I've migrated to Shopify. But the pattern redirect will make sure I land on the equivalent page on Shopify with the correct URL handle. As we can see, collections, footwear, products, boots. So these will happen automatically. They work 24 hours a day, unlimited redirects, and they will retain your search ranking power across that migration. So I hope this was helpful. If you need further support, you can access our guides from the Help Center, which will be linked in the description. You can also reach out to us with any questions or if you need support, and we're more than happy to help. Just click the pink question mark in the bottom right-hand corner of the app, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can.